Okay, I just want to go over some of the basics of using Microsoft Excel. The first thing you'll notice is I have this spreadsheet. This is referred to as a spreadsheet. And notice I have column letters and I have row numbers. The intersection of a column letter and a row number is referred to as a cell. So right now I'm in cell I7. And if I click on, let's say, this cell, I'm in cell G16. You'll notice it appears, it's highlighted here, here, and also up here in what is referred to as the name box. So if you're ever unsure what cell you're in, when you click on it, you can always go to the name box or just go to look at the up above to the column letter or the row number. Now, I typed up this spreadsheet, and you'll notice as you type in words, words appear on the left-hand side of a cell, numbers appear aligned to the right-hand side of a cell. Up at the top, I have my title, Baltimore Ice Cream Company, and oftentimes with a title in a spreadsheet, you want to center it above the data. So I'm going to select cells A2 through G2, and I'm going to click the Merge and Center button. Once I've centered it and I merged it, you can always make it a little bit bigger. You can change the font and the font size just to jazz it up, make it look a little pretty. Okay. Some more things you can do, like here are my categories for my sales. I can select them. I can make it I for italics, and I can also increase the indent. I can do the same for my expenses, I for italics, and increase the indent. I'm now going to go to cell F5, and you'll notice I have a column here labeled total. I want to find out what is my total for cones for this year. To do that, I'm going to create a formula. And one thing I tell students all the time, and this is what they always forget, formulas, they always begin with the equal sign. So I'll type in equals. If you don't type in the equal sign, Excel has no clue as to what you want to do. Now, when you're creating formulas, you do not use the contents of the cells when creating the formula. You use the cell's location. So for this cell, that's B5, this is C5, D5, and E5. So I'll type in equals, then it's B5 plus C5 plus D5 plus E5. That looks good. I'll press the Enter key, and you'll notice there's my result. Where's my formula? Well, if I go back and click on that cell, it will appear here in the formula bar. Okay? Over here, I want to create a formula that creates the average for just these four columns. First quarter, second quarter, third quarter, and fourth quarter. So it is equals B5 plus C5 plus D5 plus E5. Now, I've got those four items, but I really need those to be added up first before I continue on. So I'll put a set of parentheses around that. And whenever you put a set of parentheses around something in a formula, it tells Excel, whatever you're doing, do this first. So I'm telling Excel, add these four cells up together. After it does that, I'm going to have the little slash for the divide sign, and I'm going to divide it by 4 because it's 4 columns of data, and I press Enter, and that's my average. Okay, over here, I want to create a formula that adds all the information in these cells so I can get the total first quarter sales for cones, shakes, sundaes, and so forth. Now I could go equals B5 plus B6 plus B7 plus B8 plus B9. Well, that works, and it works very well. But sometimes you're going to come across, let's say, a large grouping of cells, and just typing in all that will take forever. There's something called a function, and functions are pre-written formulas, and the most popular function is called the sum function. So I'm going to use the sum function. To do it, I'll just go up here in the editing group. There's a button labeled AutoSum. I click on it, and a marquee appears around. It guesses what cells I'm going to use, and it guessed correctly. So notice there's the marquee, and there's the cells I want to use. Now, for the formula, which is, again, a function, it says equals sum B5 colon B9. All the colon means is anything between B5 and B9, use it. So it's correct, so I'll press the Enter key. I'll go down to cell B17. I'll create my auto sum button, and it's guessed correctly. I want to sum up all this data, so I'll just press the Enter key. Great. Everything is looking good. Now, one of the nice things about Microsoft Excel is when you create a formula, you can copy that formula to other locations on your spreadsheet. You can use copy and paste, but one of the things the book talks to you about is the autofill option. And with autofill, as long as the data you're copying is next to the cell that has the formula, it's going to work just great. And here's how you do it. Notice I'm in cell B10. And notice in the lower right hand corner this little green box, that's my autofill button. If I put my mouse over that little button, notice my mouse changes to a black plus sign. I can then click and hold and drag across. I'll go down here to cell B17, grab its fill handle, and copy it across. And it just copies the formula over, and mathematically it's correct. I'll do the same for total and for average. Okay, and that's how it's done. Now, one of the last things I want to talk to you about is formatting your document, formatting your cells actually. Basically, let's see, I've got my total sales here, so I can select them. And up here, you have the number group, and you can format your numbers in either just the number style, the currency style, the accounting style, and so forth and so on. Let's say I do currency style, bang. Notice it creates dollar signs in each cell, and it creates a decimal point and 2 places after the decimal. I can do the same down here, change it to currency, bang. Now, after you create you format your numbers, you can always go back and make some changes. A lot of people don't want to see, let's say, numbers after the decimal place. I see that often. And to get rid of those extra numbers after the decimal place, up in the numbers group, there's the decrease decimal button. You just click on it once and then twice, and it gets rid of those extra spaces. I can do the same up here, and bing, bang, and there you go. Notice up here I have other data, and you could change that to, let's say, an accounting style or a currency style. I'm going to leave it alone for right now. But there you go. That's some of the basics of using Microsoft Excel.